Okay, so today's topic is Boolean operators, string data type, and built-in functions. So before going in string built-in functions and discussing more on strings, we'll get an introduction to what are the different data types in Python available. Okay, so let's just start it with the Boolean operators. So basically, Boolean operators, are there as true and false. Okay, that is just binary valuations, we should say on. Okay, so suppose a condition you are checking is giving you a right or a wrong outcome, you say has to be true or false. That's it. Okay, so in case of operators we discuss, we have this true and false keywords, and dealing with some as bitwise or binary, we also term it as 1 and 0. So that's all. Okay, because if you just take an integer of a true, you are going to get 1, and if you take an integer of a false, you're going to get 0. And I think in the logical operator we have discussed that 1 and 0, true and false, and all those. Okay, so Boolean operators are not a very much things of dealing in. Okay, so coming in the data type, we have a lot of data types in Python. Okay, so I'll just mention. So what important things are there? First we'll know about this. Numbers. Okay, so we have discussed numbers. Those are integers, float, and complex part. Second, you get sequence. If you go on some websites, you'll find it that like sequence are there. Then there are some numeric data types. Okay, and in the sequence you'll get a lot of things like list, tuples. Okay, maybe sometimes set and dictionaries may also come, but okay, I'll make it in different way. We'll just make it individual count apart from just numeric or sequence manner. Okay, so next I'll say it has to be strings. Okay, actually these are characters. Then we go with list, tuples, set, dictionary, and many times you will hear people saying about Boolean data type, but it is actually an operator. Ways like if you just want to say it as, so you can just say, but it is just an matter of understanding that how you take it is to be an operator or a data type. Okay, so we are gonna deal with these. So 6 plus 3, if you just take it, becomes 9, and that's it. Okay, so we'll just dive into strings and we'll understand how this works. So before going into this, we'll just try to understand and show you some of the methods. So a word, basically, if you write in Python, means a string. That's very simple as to be. Okay, right, there are basically two different type of objects, we can say. Okay, so if it is number, it may be integer, float, or a complex part, that is another thing. But if it is a word, it is shorting to be a string. Okay, so well, we have been writing these kind of things. These are actually the strings. These are paragraphs basically, but you'll be getting strings. Although these notebooks will be there in your LMS portal available, so you don't need to think for it. Well, let me just take into string paths and check it. Yeah, okay, cool. So exactly what are strings? If we just define, we say quotation marks, so anything you describe inside single quotation, double quotation, or triple quotation marks. So now how this single quotation, okay, take double quotation, or you might have seen many times me doing this triple quotation things. Okay, so spelling is wrong. I'll leave it quotations. Let me just put it as triple, single, and double. Well, we have this double triple quotation marks also. Okay, this is single triple quotation marks. There is this as well. Okay, I'll say it as double triple, right? So what exactly it means, let me just tell you. There is no difference between a single and a double quotation marks. Okay, that's to be very easy. Okay, the triple, single, or triple double, if you say, these are basically nothing but used for multi-line strings. Now when we say multi-line strings, what it means, suppose I say you to print a line that this is a string. So it is supposed to be printed in some, not in one line. So this in the first line, is in the second line, a string in the third line. So it is supposed to be printed in that manner, but you can see if I execute this, I'll get a syntax error at the end of the line while scanning the string literal, right? And this is the place where you have to bring the multi-line strings. Okay, so what we do is we actually put this. You can see if I execute, just prints as it is. Okay, so I have to remove the space of is and a to make it in just simple 3 lines. This is called multi-line strings. Okay, so strings are actually something what you see in under quotes. That's it. Okay, and there are a lot of functions you have got in strings, so I'll just print the directory of this, and the data type what is there is str. Okay, and we have seen that in Python the basic input type is also is in string, right? So these are the string functions, and dir function is practically like this is used to see the directory of a function, module, you can say. Okay, or else, so what next you can do is write str.tab, press a tab, and you'll get all the functions available in that particular string, like capitalize, case, full, center, count, encode, and all those things. And next, if you just write upper dot tab, function tab, okay, so it returns a copy of a string converted to uppercase and so on. So you can use some shortcuts. Okay, we'll discuss it later. So just come back and understand some more deeper concepts to it. Okay, so we use quotation mark for defining a string, like I suppose Michael Jackson, you execute this, okay, you can put it using a single quotation mark as well, right? So what if we are writing some special characters or any numbers in these strings, or just giving some spaces, or just not writing anything inside this? Suppose if I'm writing a string like this, I'm defining a string, this is, what is this? This is a string also, right? So suppose I said y is equals to this. So if I just print y, and what it would be like if I just print y, I can see nothing is getting printed, right? It's not like that, something is getting printed. This is the space what is getting printed actually. Okay, so this is actually y, because if I just try to go and see the length of y, you'll find that the length of y is 17, because that is actually counting the number of spaces. Okay, So if you see something like it is, because what happens is in this console, when you print y, this is actually printing the values. And what happens when you directly print y? This is scripting method, and this is a printing method, simple, right? So if you are using string spaces as well, that is also countable, right? If I print it like this, you'll get in the same way. Those are called string literals actually. If you remember, I think discussed in the tokens class. So a string can be in the combination of special characters, like whatever the punctuations you want to take it, and you can just put it there. And so you see, you can just print things simply. Okay, so suppose we can bind or assign strings like writing this we have been doing in the input box and all those. So if you remember the tokens class, suppose I write for I in a range of 5, I just want to print I plus 1, that's it. So what is going to in this loop, actually what is going behind the loop is, you can see there is a keyword, there is a keyword, there is an identifier, there is an operator, there is a literal. Where is a literal? Yeah, what is the literals? What are literal, guys? In this program, what is a literal? Yes.
One.
Hmm. And 1 and 5, no? 5 is also there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then we have punctuators as well. This is punctuator, this is punctuator, this is
So
punctuator.
character also,
Which character? This one.
like data type variables.
Variables, huh? Variables are identifiers, no? Your I and I. Let's see. What is this? This green bold letters will be your keywords. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then these light greens are actually your functions. Range and print. 1 and 5 is your
Literals.
literal. Plus is your operator. I is your identifier. Identify, in case of I, it can be Y as well, right? Identify, because these are the names given to the variables or part of the programs, right? So Y is nothing but a variable which is carrying out some number, storing and then printing it. Okay. Next is this punctuators. That's it, done. So all those 5 things, what we say as a lexical unit of programming language. Clear, है ना? In doubts to anyone? Hmm?
No, sir.
No? Good. Okay. So proceeding next. So yeah, let's come here. See, a very important thing is of indexing. Okay. So this is a very important thing to discuss. Okay. Suppose a name has been given. I'll just take some small names and we'll try to bring this in a simple step. Just let's suppose we have y is equals to, you can just go through in that later, Python. Okay, so let me just create this for you. Just give me a minute. So it's gonna be a table Python. That's it. Python. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and layout, insert above, it's -1, Just give me a moment. Okay. All right. So you can see this simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. This is word, right? And I hope you can see this. Okay. So we have this p by thon word, and we have some countings from 0 to 5 and -1 to -6. And simple step I want to make you understand about indexing, what it is in Python. When you start counting something, we start counting it from 0. Okay. Eh, Only in the case of length, like if you want to count the number of elements, we don't count it from 0. Otherwise, if I just want to know like what is the position of that particular element in a sequence or in any data type, we always start doing it from 0. Let it be any data type. Okay. So suppose if I ask like what is the position of t. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members. We can say in a batch, right? 6 members in a batch, and I want to know where this t is standing or where is t placed, right? So if I say it from a standard counting side or left to right, if you just go, you'll say it is in the second position. And if you just take it from the backward side, you'll say it is in the fourth position, right? Because from minus counting, if you just take it from backwards, the last few -1, 2, 3, 4, from front side it's 0, 1, and 2. Simple, that has been described here as well. So if you see this Michael Jackson, you see a space over there. That space also counts index. Okay, so you can see index starts at 0, so first index is always at 0. Alright, so you can see this minus, that is your -1, that is your positive. Okay, so these are some slicing methods, and we would be going it through. So before going to slicing, I'll tell you about those simple things. So we were taking excess Python. Now suppose if I say to bring out where is this t, so I'll just print y of 0, y of 1. What is this? Y of 0 is p, y of 1 is y. And again I say y of -6 and y of -5. So again you see the same things, right? So if I print them, you see this pi, right? Okay, cool. So this is actually a simple indexing you are doing. Okay, so if I just want to see where is this t placed or where is o placed, you can just simply have it find. Okay, now using of slicing, what it means, when we say slicing, we are actually ranging an index. Ranging, it means like you're trying to look out some x position to y position in a particular sequence, looking for x to y in a sequence. Right? For example, if I say I want to see a range of 10 to 100, so basically between 10 to 100, how many elements are there? that has to be printed. No? So if I print this, you don't have to look and understand it for now. If you know, it's better. If you don't, it's nothing problem. Just see what it is printing actually. So if you can see, it is printing from 10 to direct 99, not 100. Why? Because 100 is not a part between 10 to 100. Okay, and this is what it follows a pattern in Python. Okay, between 10 to 100 means 10 to 99. Always the last number minus 1. Okay, that is something which is followed in Python. Okay, if you want 100 as well, so you have to write it 100 plus 1, and you would be getting the 100th term as well. If I can change, yeah, okay. So I think this is fine. And now, so this was a simple list. What is slicing here? How we can range between some elements. So you have seen that between 10 to 100 we have just look at sum of the part, and you can say this is also a slicing. How? So you have infinite numbers and you're taking just some part of that numbers, right? So you have taken a range of 10 to something. Similarly, if we have, y, I think it's Python, yeah, I want to take the range, like what is the length of this y? This is 6. Okay, so length is 6. I want to find numbers between, I want to find the characters between second to fourth position. Second to fourth position. So let's just take it out. So we are not going to write y and a range of 2 to 4. No, not like that. We'll just put this box. Okay, this list box. So we want to see numbers from 2 till 4. So characters lying in between second to fourth position. So we'll start it from second and we'll end it at fourth. Right? I'll print the y again. So you can see y above. So 0, 1, if you see second to fourth. So second is this T, fourth is this O. Between 2 and 4, you have got only T and H. And I guess you can understand that why O is not coming, because it's in range. Whatever the number you write, you get minus 1 of that. So between 2 and 4 means between only 2 and 3. That's it. I believe that this is okay. And sometime what happens, suppose there is some numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So there are some numbers like this. Let us say this is equals to x. So if I say x of, slicing has to be understood in a proper manner, so you will get some more stuff on slicing also. So if I just write it simply like this, what it means in it, you're taking it from 0. If I don't write anything, that means it's starting from 0. If I write something, it takes from there. So if I write 4, it is going to give me nothing, right? Because you can just take anything. So suppose if I say you to range from here to here, how will it go? Not in a standard counting, right? You have to take it from this to this. If I say you to print O, H and T, yes, if you can print me. Anyone who can say, write it down the code. You understood the question. I want to print O, H and T, not T, H, O. How can I?
-2 to -5.
-2 to -5. So okay, so see what happens is, when you write a bigger value previously, it is not going to work. Why? Because you saw the same thing here. You have written this -2 is bigger than -5, right? So your indexing should always start from a lower index value to higher index value, not from higher to lower. Okay, so this is not going to work in both the cases, because your starting value is less. Yes.
Stepping -1.
Stepping -1. कहाँ पे डालूँ? -2 to -5 या 4 to 2 पे?
4 to 2 में माइनस एंटर करना।
अच्छा, एक मिनट. I'll do it in Y. So you got O and H. You got OH. You have to take this as well.
वन और ले लेंगे।
So basically, what he did is he used steppings, right? Otherwise, the second option you have is to reverse the string. That's it. Only two options you can have in there. Either you can just go in a backward counting, or after you have counted, you just reverse the string. So you can do that. Suppose if I say to reverse this by x, so I'll do it like this. This is reversing actually means this, nothing else. But there are some functions also, like you can make functions to reverse something. If a list contain 1 and 2 and I want to reverse it, I can reverse and see values. So okay, so you can see it's 2 and 1, right? So there are some functions, but not all to all of the data types. Okay, so you can do this and you can just get it done. So going from 4 to 2, so if you are going to from 4 to 1 till -1, you will be getting your O, H and T there, right? Okay, I think this is fine, slicing and all. So let us just come to the different topics. Striding, this is called striding. Actually, what we were doing, concatenating strings we have done, escaping sequences, string operations are something which is to be done here. Okay, so yes, we are going to get into the string operations. So I'll just take into this particular statement and we'll start it doing here quickly. Operations, and you can say some functions of strings. Okay, so first of all, we will be looking into uppercase. Uppercase A equals this. Oh, so uppercase is something like which is going to convert each and every character into uppercase, capital letters. You just have to write this, get it done. Similarly, you have lowercase, and you can see here T is capital. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is going to print everything in a lowercase. The T is also in the lowercase. You can see now, right? We're gonna do this quick. Capitalize. So the sentence of this A, if you see, this is actually in a capitalized one. Why? Because in capitalized, what happens? Only your first letter, this T, only this first letter is going to be in capital. Rest everything is going to be in lower cases. Okay. So what we can do is we can say upper. So it has been capitalized, sorry, in the uppercase. Okay, completely capital. Now I can make it capitalized. So again, it came back to its original form, right? Next is something called title. In title, what happens is every first letter of the word, every first letter is going to get capitalized. Capitalized means in capital letter, every first word. So you can see in the complete sentence, every first word is capitalized. Then there are swap case. So swap case is something which is going to convert the lower cases into the upper and the upper cases into the lower letters. So here in the complete sentence only one was capital, so that is in okay. Then otherwise we can use this thing like this and make it a swap case, and you can see capitals in lower and lower in caps, right? Okay. Okay, cool. Next is some formatting, and this is very important. Suppose if my y value is 5 and I say a string, okay, let it be a. What is this a? This is the 6th studio album. Okay, cool. So if I say that my value is 5th and I print a, dot replace. Now what I need to replace is old count, count and new. What is count is something like, if you have number of substrings what you want to replace, so you can mention the count or the index value of that, how much number you want to replace. Okay, so like in a sentence you have 5 6 same words or same letters you want to replace. Suppose Thriller is the 6th studio album. So if you see that there are a lot of meaning of is what you want to replace with some other word, you can just replace it and just put the number of counts you want. Okay, or at some index value you want to replace, you can index that as well. So my old word is 6th and I want to replace it with val, and you can see Thriller is the 5th studio album. Very simple as to be. Next is, if I am printing the same value by writing hello Jimmy, how old are you, to the next line hi granny, I am. Now you see, so this simple conversation I'm just trying to I'm going to write it like this, and this is Jimmy, I am is, oh, it's simple. Yeah. Now here has to be some value, so we have two options. You can just put it like this, okay, and I can write val inside it. So you can see if I execute this, I will just simply get I am values old, but that val has to be some value, right? Something 5 6 something like that. So I say 80